All right, let's talk about the nitty-gritty of evaluating functions. Okay, so we have evaluate f of 2 equals negative 3x plus 7. Okay, first off, if you're like concerned about evaluate, it's kind of like solving. Okay, but we have to figure out like what's it giving us, and remember, functions are telling us an ordered pair, and so we're looking, what does it give us? What part do I still need to find, and how do I find it? What information can I use to help me out? So remember, inside here, this is the x value. So this time x is 2, and it wants to know when x is 2, what is y? That's what we're figuring out. We're solving this unknown ordered pair. What this tells me to do is, since x was changed to 2, that means everywhere I see x on the right side, I'm going to replace it with 2. Okay, so that's what it tells you. If it gives you x, it says, hey, swap out x with 2 and figure out what your y is. Okay, so we have f of 2 equals negative 3 times 2, because that's negative 3 times x. So negative 3 times 2 plus 7. Then we're going to go through and simplify, right? Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 7. And finally, negative 6 plus 7 is 1. So this ordered pair is 2, 1, which means when x is 2, y is 1. Okay, that's what we're doing when it says to evaluate these functions, and it's the equation. Okay, let's do it again. Evaluate f of negative 4 equals 1/2 of x minus 2. Okay, inside, it gave me my x value. So I'm going to swap out all my x's. So I'm going to replace x with negative 4. Okay, so our ordered pair, we know x is negative 4. We have to figure out what the y value is. So we substitute in. So f of negative 4 equals 1/2 times x comes out, negative 4 goes in, minus 2. F of negative 4 equals, well, half of negative 4 is negative 2 minus 2. F of negative 4 equals negative 4. So my ordered pair completed now is negative 4, negative 4, which just means when x is negative 4, y is negative 4. Okay, so if it gives us what's inside, swap out the x's. That's what I want you to do. Okay, oh, this one looks a little different. Let f of x equal 4x plus 5. If f of x equals 21, find x. Okay, guys, I have to find x. Look, it didn't give me the number. Do not replace x. You have to find it, but sometimes we get a little substitute happy. And we're like, oh, swap numbers, whatever. We have to find it. It didn't say x is 21. It said f of x is 21. So that means this 21 replaces that whole thing. So I'm going to keep it simple for my brain. F of x is this left side. So since these are my notes, I'm just going to tell myself, replace left side with 21. Okay, so now this comes out. I put in 21, and then we have 4x plus 5. Now it's an equation. Hey, we've been solving equation. Subtract 5 for the 0 pair. Keep the balance on the other side. I get 16 equals 4x. But we need positive 1 as our coefficient. So we divide by the coefficient. And so we get 4 equals x. So then our official pairing here is 4, 21. Which means when x is 4, y is 21. Catching on? Okay, so if it says find x, you're swapping out the f of x. Okay, it's giving you y. All right, let f of x equal negative 2/3 x plus 2. if f of x equals -8, find x. Okay, so since these are my notes, I'm just going to tell my brain again, do not replace x with the -8. That will be wrong every time, okay? We're going to take -8 and we're going to swap it for f of x. So I'm going to tell myself again, replace the left side with -8. Okay, so I'm going to take f of x, comes out, -8 goes in, equals -2/3 times x plus 2. All right, and we're solving for x, so subtract to create the 0 pair, subtract on the other side, -10 equals -2/3 times x. Ooh, and then something crazy will happen because you're like, what do I do? Okay, if you need to get a fraction to +1, which is what we need when we're solving for x, okay, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Ooh, math language. Reciprocal, flip the fraction, okay? So we're going to do that to get a +1. Okay, so this is why it works. -2 times 3, -2/3. Man, words. All right, the reciprocal means to flip the numerator and denominator, swap them in their positions. This is why it works. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerator, so -2 times -3 is +6, and then 2 times 3 is 6. Hey, anything divided by itself equals 1. So that's why multiplying, if you end up at this spot right here, okay, multiply by the reciprocal will get you to your +1x that we need. Okay, so I can multiply -10 times -3 is 30, divided by 2 is 15. It's my x, so my point is 15, -8. When x is 15, y is -8. That's it, okay? Rewatch this as much as you need to. You can do this. Be careful, what part do you need to substitute? Which part are you replacing? Is it the x value or is it the y value? And then from there, go ahead and solve it. You can do it.